Those harsh voices kept flashing through my mind. Su Muyao, the one I love is Liu Mengyan. It's definitely not you, you malicious woman. You were exiled because you brought it on yourself. I'd rather lose half my power abilities than stay tied to you. Even if you rely on your family's power and force your way into the mansion, so what? No one is willing to even touch you. 5 stunning men are standing before me. Their eyes are filled with extreme disgust. When they forcefully broke the marriage bond, they didn't hesitate to injure themselves and cough up blood. And I was screaming like crazy. How dare you? You are my beast husbands. I won't allow it. I suddenly opened my eyes wide. The unfamiliar environment made me freeze. I didn't have time to react when a clear, gentle voice spoke up. Jihan is not feeling well, so he can't serve the 7th master. Asking for 7th master's punishment. I looked down and saw a stunning man kneeling by the bed. He was covered with purple whip marks. His animal skin clothes had been torn off, revealing broad shoulders and a narrow waist. 7th master's punishment, please. That's when I realized I'd transmigrated. The original owner was a noble heir of the imperial city, but her family declined and she was exiled. 10 beast husbands. 5 with strong backgrounds broke off from her by force, and the remaining 5 followed her to the North Luo tribe. The original owner couldn't handle exile and took out her anger on them, constantly whipping and abusing them. The man in front of me is Wolf Beastman, Zhao Jihan. The original owner drugged him, trying to force herself on him. During his resistance, he pushed the original owner, who hit her head on the wall and died. And that's when I transmigrated into this body. You can get up first. I'm not used to people kneeling. But as soon as I finished speaking, Zhao Jihan's aura became even colder. It's all Jihan's fault. Jihan shouldn't have pushed 7th master. Please punish Jihan, 7th master. If 7th master is dissatisfied with Jihan, you can dismiss Jihan. Jihan would never complain. I wasn't harsh with him. While I was still confused, the door slammed open. A man in fiery red animal skins walked in, pulled out paper and pen, and put them on the table. Since 7th master is going to dismiss, why not dismiss me too? 7th master? We're tired of getting beaten lately. Even Lin feels bad for how much 7th master's hand must hurt. Besides, the one 7th master loves most is young Master Zhang. Lin Yi gave me a cold, disgusted look. I just wish I could write the dismissal papers immediately. But when I checked myself, my wood-type power had weakened. Only a sliver of power remains. The North Luo tribe environment is harsh. Enemies from the imperial city might still send people to kill me. I need their protection. No need to rush. I responded calmly. Within 3 months, if you can keep me safe, I'll let you all go. By then, I'll give you your dismissal papers. They were stunned, their eyes full of suspicion. Hue Li was about to speak up when urgent shouts came from outside. Bad news, sis. Come quickly and look. One of your beast husbands was attacked by a magical beast and was seriously injured. He's barely hanging on. Images of my other 3 beast husbands flashed in my mind, all at once. I didn't know which one was hurt. I didn't have time to think, so I got off the bed right away and rushed out of the stone house. In the yard, a few people were carrying a huge unconscious snake in. It was gigantic, over 10 meters long. It was a very beautiful bamboo viper, but it was severely wounded, bleeding non-stop, a shocking sight. Lin Qin sighed. Sis, your beast husband here is so badly injured. He can't even keep his human form anymore. Zhao Jihan and Hua Linye also came out. Seeing Wen Nangxi's condition, their eyes were numb and dull. I couldn't care about anything else, and rushed forward, placing my hand atop Wen Nangxi's head. What are you doing? Hue Lin's face changed dramatically. He's about to die. Are you still not letting him go? He doesn't even call you wife anymore. Zhao Jihan tensed up, blocked me from advancing. I ignored them, and tried to use what little wood power I had left. A green light glowed from my palm, slowly seeping into Wen Nangxi's body. Lin Qin's eyes went wide. Sis, you actually have powers. And you can heal wounds? I didn't answer, because my consciousness was suddenly pulled into a spiritual sea. In a bamboo forest, a huge bamboo viper coiled around a thick trunk. Its scales looked dull, with mottled wounds all over. He gazed at me calmly, weakly flicked out his tongue. Seventh Master. His voice was gentle, completely different from Zhao Jihan and Hualinye. There was a natural warmth to him. I walked toward him, reached out to touch him. His body trembled lightly, but he didn't dodge. Don't worry, you'll recover. I used my wood-type power, wrapping him in green light, slowly healing his wounds.
His body relaxed.
When Nangxi's eyes filled with surprise. Thank you, Seventh Master, for healing me. This is exactly what I should do. I kept channeling my powers, because in the beast world, it's the wife's duty to heal the beast husbands and soothe their spiritual sea. But the original owner never took care of her beast husbands and wouldn't let them touch her either. I don't know how long passed, but when Nangxi basically recovered, I, on the other hand, was exhausted from using too much power, and my vision went black, and I fainted. Before I lost consciousness, I felt someone catch me securely. When I woke again, it was already the next morning. There was no one else in the house. I got up and washed. Looking into the basin, one side of my face was fine, but the other side was blackened and disfigured. It was scary to look at. It made the original owner irritable and insecure, but I knew, as long as I detoxified, I'd be fine. I went outside the stone house and saw someone chopping firewood in the yard. When Nangxi noticed the sound, turned around with a gentle expression, and said, Seventh Master, you're awake. Yeah, it's still a little unfamiliar to me. He put down the wood, went to the kitchen and brought 2 red fruits and 2 bird eggs. This is all we have at home. Sorry to wrong you, Seventh Master. Miss, Han and Hualinye went hunting early this morning. They should be able to bring back some food. Yesterday was my fault. The environment in the North Luo tribe is harsh. Food is very scarce. Even with their rank 3 strength, the beast husbands have to face forest dangers. Sometimes they go hungry, sometimes full. It's normal. It's all right. I'll cook. The tribe is backward. They eat raw meat, but I grew up in the capital, and am used to cooked food. At least we've got firewood at home. Nangxi, come help me light the fire. I made tomato and bird egg soup with the eggs and red fruit. They call it red fruit, but it's actually just tomato. After I finished cooking, I handed him a bowl. His eyes were filled with inquiry, but he didn't ask anything. These 2 red fruits, where did you find them before? I asked. With tomatoes, I could make many kinds of food, and even turn them into ketchup to sell in town. They were found in the ancient tomb forest, when Nangxi explained gently. Can you accompany me there after dinner? I asked. All right, he agreed. Seeing him not moving his spoon, I urged. Eat it while it's hot. I can't eat this much. Help me taste my cooking while you're at it. When Nangxi didn't move, I suddenly remembered what happened yesterday. My predecessor had drugged Zhao Jahan's food, trying to force a relationship while the drug took effect. No wonder he didn't dare to eat. The corners of my mouth stiffened. Don't worry, I don't have any ulterior motives toward you now. There is no drug in the food, okay? Only then did he pick up the spoon. I thought he would leave some for me. When food was scarce before, I would always eat my fill first, and he would only get the leftovers. But after he tasted a sip of the soup, surprise appeared in his eyes. How does it taste? A faint soft light appeared in his eyes, and his whole aura softened. It's delicious. I broke into a smile. Then drink it all. When we find more ingredients in the forest, we'll make more delicious food. Seeing the smile on his face, I thought to myself, to make a horse run, one must first let the horse eat its fill. Since we'll dissolve the relationship in 3 months, I shouldn't let them loathe me too much. However, when Nangxi's expression suddenly changed, Master, you don't have to work so hard. I didn't answer, knowing they wouldn't believe anything I said now. I didn't explain much either. Time will reveal one's heart. After the meal, when Nangxi cleared the dishes, Upon stepping out, he transformed into his original snake form. Please come up, master. I climbed onto the snake's body. The moment I hugged him, I clearly felt his entire body stiffen, and he almost fell from midair. He sped up, and we soon reached that patch of red fruits. He quickly set me down. He transformed back into human form, looking elegant as usual, except his earlobes were slightly flushed. These are those red fruits. Seeing the tomatoes all over the ground, my eyes lit up. But I had no tools to carry them, so I had to find vines to weave a basket. When Nancy, can you help me get some vines? All right. He brought the vines, and I sat down to weave. I was very skillful with my hands. When I was a child in the village, I learned these intangible cultural heritage skills from my grandparents. I wove very quickly. When Nancy watched me, Master, are you weaving something? Yes, weaving a basket. To hold the red fruits. If you're bored, you can take a look around, but don't go too far. I'll call you if I'm in danger. He nodded and went nearby to search for prey. I continued picking tomatoes and putting them into the basket. While busy, I suddenly sensed a dangerous aura. Looking back, a giant spiked beast was charging toward me. When Nancy, I shouted loudly, while jumping up at the same time, quickly climbing the tree next to me. When Nancy rushed over, he saw my movements in the tree, and a look of astonishment appeared in his eyes. How could Master? Magic followed. When Nancy's eyes narrowed, and he quickly engaged the spiked beast in battle. He was usually gentle and refined, but when actually fighting, he carried a cold, fierce aura. Bone blades swirled, shooting toward the spiked beast like sharp edges. The spiked beast reacted very quickly, avoiding the fatal strike, but the bone blade spun back into his hand. He leaped down from the air, piercing the bone blade directly through the beast's neck. His movements were elegant and effortless, without a single drop of blood touching him. With a thud, the beast collapsed. My eyes widened. He solved it easily without even using his full strength. Gentleness was just a facade. His strength was formidable. How did my predecessor dare to provoke these beast husbands? Master. Seeing that I hadn't reacted for a while, when Nancy leaped up onto the tree, I was startled, recoiling instinctively. Whoops! Caught off guard, I fell straight down. He caught me in midair. Are you all right, Master? Held by him, I could smell his elegant scent. My body stiffened involuntarily, thinking of how he killed the wild beast and how I abused him in the previous life. I didn't even dare to touch him. I'm fine. You can just put me down. When Nancy looked down at me, his gaze deep and unfathomable. There was only alertness in my eyes, different from before. He lowered his head, his voice husky. Is Master afraid of me? I bit my lip. No, how could that be? I looked up at him. The darkness in his eyes was like a vortex, threatening to swallow me whole. I suddenly realized that regarding this snake beast husband, I didn't understand him at all. His usual gentleness was a disguise. I want to get down, but he wouldn't let go. I couldn't struggle free. My abilities were too weak. Master used to like me holding you like this. I gave a sheepish smile. Don't I want to turn over a new leaf? Just as I was thinking about how to escape, a soft, cute voice suddenly echoed in my mind. Host, I'm finally awake. It's a spatial system. I'm glad you're okay. What about the supplies in my space? Host, I was injured when you crossed over. Now the space permissions are limited. Only half an acre. The supplies can only be accessed after upgrading. What's the trigger for an upgrade? It's when the host has close contact with the beastmen. That will unlock permissions. This time, hugging is what woke me up. If you pee, things will upgrade faster. Upgrading will be quick. My mouth twitched. If you want me to stay alive, stop saying that. For now, find food on your own. I snapped back to reality. When Nancy had already put me down, I quickly moved away from him. Went to check on the beast. Is this edible? No, it's a mutant beast. I lowered my gaze slightly. Guess I'll keep picking tomatoes to fill up. When Nangxi automatically came over to help. Soon the basket was full. I wanted to find something else. Scanning around. The spatial system suddenly got excited. Host, 100 meters ahead in the grass. There's sweet potatoes underground. After hearing the system, I perked up. Sweet potatoes, we found sweet potatoes. We won't go hungry today. Plus, sweet potatoes yield well. We can even plant more in the future. System, you're awesome. Host, walk forward. I can detect anything within 100 meters. I arrived at the spot the system mentioned. Moved the grass aside. Saw sweet potato leaves. Quickly picked some. When Nangxi followed by my side. Watched me pick the leaves. He paused for a moment. These are sweet potato leaves. They can be used as food. I looked up at him. Trust me, this isn't just grass. People in this world don't know about underground food yet. I blinked at him. When Nangxi, can you help me dig underground? He hesitated a bit. Before I always gave orders. Never asked nicely like this. All right, he channeled his power into an ancient blade and started digging forcefully. Created a big hole in the ground. Smashed several sweet potatoes. Don't dig so hard. There's food down there. He lightened up his movements. Carefully dug up sweet potatoes, one by one. Cleaned off the dirt. Put them in the basket. I smiled with my eyes. Thank you. He paused for a second. It seemed like he never heard those words before. He silently laughed. This is just what I'm supposed to do. The basket wasn't big enough. I directly put the sweet potatoes into my space. When Nangxi watched the food vanish into thin air, looking amazed, he whispered softly, Space. Yeah, I have spatial powers too. I'm not trying to hide it. Showing off powers makes them wary, so they won't think about revenge as much. He was obviously shocked inside. Healing abilities plus spatial power. Rare in Beastman world among 7 masters. Definitely different from the past. I told you, I want to turn over a new leaf. In 3 months, you'll all be free. He didn't say anything else. I kept picking mushrooms and fungus. He warned me they were toxic. I explained some mushrooms aren't poisonous. Aya fungus is fine, if handled well. Whether he believed me or not, I just kept picking. System notified me again. 100 meters to the left, there's ginger and scallions. I hurried over to dig them up. With scallions and ginger, you can get rid of fishy taste. With this food, we won't have to worry about eating or drinking for several days. Probably because we killed a beast. There weren't any beasts nearby for now. It was getting late. I got up ready to head home. When Nangxi transformed into a snake, I sat properly. Didn't dare to move around. Definitely didn't dare to hug him. He sped along swiftly. I almost fell off. He caught me with his tail. 7 masters can hold on tight to me. Hold tight? Isn't he not into hugs with me? I was about to refuse. The spatial system screamed. Host, hurry up and hug him. Even just a hug. The longer you hold, the more permissions you unlock. I closed my eyes tightly. Dragged outside. I grabbed him in a hug. The moment I hugged him, his speed seemed to slow down. Once he slowed, I slowly opened my eyes. Couldn't help looking down. There's a river in the valley. The water is crystal clear. Lots of big fish inside. Some are 5 or 6 pounds, even 10 pounds. When Nangxi, let's go catch fish by the river. He landed beside the river, transformed into human form. Gently set me down. His attitude seemed to change a bit. Wife master wants to catch fish balls. I want to eat fish meat. He smiled elegantly. Before, I hated fish because of the smell. Someone in the tribe choked on fish bones and died. So nobody eats fish. He used wind powers, swept more than 10 fish onto the bank, and picked grass to string them up. His movements were graceful. I put each fish into my space. Too many fish to eat at once. We can make fish balls. When we were about to head back, I found river snails and shrimp in the grass by the river. My eyes lit up. The Beastman world has so many resources. Ingredients everywhere. I put all the shrimp and snails into my space too. After all that work, I was sweating all over. Do you need more? When Nancy asked softly. No, these are plenty. If we need more food later, we can come back. When Nancy nodded, took me back to the stone house. The sun hadn't set yet. It was about 4 p.m. Zhao Jihan and Hua Ling weren't back yet. When Nancy proactively explained, they might have gone far. They should get back by nightfall. It's fine, they can return whenever they want. Better if they don't come back. The food we got today is enough for Wen Nancy and me. He studied my expression, found that I truly didn't care. If it was before, I would have already started cursing. Wife master, it's been a tiring day. Go rest first. I'll cook. You don't know how to make the food. I got this. I planned on making fish noodles. One fish is about 5 or 6 pounds. Just right. When Nancy watched curiously, washed his hands and stepped forward. What can I help you with? Help me wash the mushrooms, fungus, and sweet potato leaves. Okay, he took the wooden basin to the courtyard to wash them. I drew water and started preparing the fish. Used a bone knife to cut off the fish head and bones for soup. Scraped fish meat into paste. At that moment, there was noise outside the door. Hue Ling returned, carrying a wild boar. When he saw what was in the courtyard, his eyes darkened. Did you bring all this back? You're seriously injured. He won't let you rest. And made you get food? When Nancy explained. It was picked by Kiju. Ling's lips curled into a cold smile. When Nancy on you, also disgusted by him. Just because he helped you heal once. You're speaking up for him now. No female beast is willing to enter the kitchen. Let alone our wife master. Don't forget what he did to you before. Who knows what trick he's playing this time. I don't believe he will change. He used to pretend to have amnesia to get their attention. Pretended to be better, but ended up even worse. When Nancy paused. He's in the kitchen. If you don't believe me, you can go see for yourself. Walingi looked toward the kitchen. Saw me busy inside. Stunned, he has supernatural abilities. His eyesight is excellent. He can see me quickly slicing fish with skill. What's he trying to do? Cooking. Eating fish. Isn't he the one who hates the smell of fish the most? Does he dislike fish because of the bones? When I heard that, I frowned. Didn't pay them any mind. Anyway, it's only 3 months. Let them say whatever they want. When Nancy replied softly, You weren't here this morning. He made breakfast too. That sour, red glow. He can make delicious soup. Waline obviously doesn't believe it. Silently went to cut pork on the side. I looked at him quietly working in the yard. Remembered my former self. Once when he was badly injured, he revealed his true form. I wanted to strip off his fox fur. That fiery red fox fur was indeed noble and gorgeous. Thinking about all these memories, I get a headache. If I write a divorce letter now, they could just kill me immediately. Suddenly, I saw the wild boar they brought. My eyes lit up. Pig skin can be turned into pig jelly. Pork fat can be rendered into oil. Pig suet can also be rendered into oil. And the crispy bits can be used as snacks. In this world, the skinny people have big appetites, but are often hungry. Make some snacks, so they have something to eat during leisure time. Just as the yard, Walingi finished cutting and packing the meat. Noticed there wasn't much water in the tank. Carried the wooden bucket to fetch water. Can't be idle when back home anyway. Eyes numb, chest stifled. Zhao Jihan came back, just in time to run into him. Saw his face didn't look good. Asked what's wrong. Did he do something to you again? Walingi had a gloomy expression. He didn't do much. He's cooking in the kitchen. He's never set foot in the kitchen before. He can't cook at all, but suddenly decides to cook. Do you think he's planning to poison us this time? While scraping the fish paste, I was listening to Zhao Jihan and Hua Ling talking. Yesterday was my fault. If I hadn't resisted, he might not have become more obsessive. Zhao Jihan's voice was icy. I know with your temperament. You'd rather die than let him touch you. Hui Ling chimed in. I feel the same way, so there's no need for you to be troubled. If like Mei Kinkin and Shen San, we disappeared for a long time. Ignoring him completely, it would actually be more carefree. Mei Kinkin and Shen Xian are my other two beast husbands. Our bond hasn't been broken yet, but they've vanished without a trace. Both have powerful family backgrounds. They possess secret methods to restrain beast couple contracts. Even if Su Miyao died, they could still live well. Zhao Jihan lowered his head and said, but we can't. What they said is true. If I died, they would be buried with me. After they finished speaking, they came to me and Wen Nangxi's side. They said, we'll both skip dinner tonight. Wen Nangxi sighed. Seventh master isn't the same as before. Let's eat together anyway. Zhao Jihan shook his head. We're not hungry. I paused my hand scraping the fish paste, looking at the full basin of fish paste. My tone was a bit aggrieved. I prepared food for 4 people. As soon as I said that, they glanced at me with disgust and walked away. When Nangxi patted my head and comforted me, saying, I'll deliver it to their rooms tonight. Okay. The space system laughed in my mind. Host, they're worried you might slip something into the food. I twitched the corners of my mouth.
I know.
Cooking is quick. Rendered lard, stir-fried. Stir-fried tomatoes and eggs. Simmered fish soup. Made pure fish meat noodles. Roasted sweet potatoes, plated 2 servings. Tomato and egg roasted sweet potatoes. 2 big bowls of fish noodles. 1 big bowl of fish soup. To prove I didn't drug the food, I ate and drank in front of Wen Nangxi. I didn't put anything in the food, nor did I poison it. I'm still counting on you all to protect me. Finding food, I'd never harm myself. When Nangxi looked at me gently, I know they'll eat it eventually. He took the food to Zhao Jihan's room. I continued tidying up the kitchen. I could faintly hear people eating over there. After a while, when Nangxi returned, I sat at the table, looking at his smiling eyes. You're back, let's eat together. When Nangxi was momentarily surprised, is 7th Master waiting for me? Yeah, we made the meal together. Of course, we should wait for you to eat together. When Nangxi met my gaze, his gentle and refined face softened. All right, after he sat down, I handed him chopsticks and a spoon, and finally started eating, having not eaten all day. Bird eggs were cracked onto the fish noodles, and cooked sweet potato leaves were added. It tasted delicious. I was focused on eating, didn't look at him. When we were nearly finished, I looked up at Wen Nangxi. Honestly, I don't know his background either. Just remembered that my former self's father once brought him home and told me to treat him well. Does the food suit your taste? When Nangxi asked gently. It's really good. If the wife master wants anything, just tell me the steps. I'll cook it so you don't have to work so hard. I replied, smiling. It's fine. I'm just passing the time anyway. Besides, I enjoy making food. In the apocalypse, ingredients were limited. But in the beast world, though the culture is primitive, the resources are abundant. All the food is organic, so I can make all kinds of dishes, which makes me really happy. When Nangxi saw my bright expression and knew I was telling the truth, then I'll help you out in the kitchen from now on. Okay, after eating our fill, when Nangxi naturally cleaned up the dishes, this was the first meal he'd eaten his fill since being exiled. I went to the yard to burn plant ashes, to prepare to clean the pig offal. The weather is still hot. If the pork isn't handled, it'll spoil easily. It's not easy to catch food, so we can't waste any of it. The only problem is the lack of seasonings. There's a pharmacy in a nearby town. Maybe they have seasonings, but trading for them requires a lot of meat and pelts. I'm planning to dry those shiitake mushrooms and grind them into powder as seasoning. Also drying and storing wood ear mushrooms. Meanwhile, after Zhao Jihan and Hua Ling finished eating, they stared at the empty bowls and plates. Both fell silent. Hua Ling said, if I hadn't seen it with my own eyes, I wouldn't have believed he cooked food this tasty. I've never eaten such good food even in my clan. Zhao Jihan lowered his voice. By the rules, we're supposed to take care of him. He shouldn't be cooking for us, Hua Ling said helplessly. Is it because we don't want to cook for him? He's always picky about the food we make. After all the hard work cooking, whenever she gets mad, she flips the table. She'd rather throw it all away than let us eat. Today, it feels like the sun rose in the west. Huai Li couldn't believe it and said skeptically, when Nangxi said he's different from before today, could it really be true? A subtle change appeared in Zhao Jihan's cool eyes. It seems he banged his head, and then his eyes looked totally different. Just wait and see, don't fall for his trap. Huai Ling sighed, yeah. Let's clean up the dishes first. When they came out of the house, they saw me busy in the yard and thought they were seeing things. I didn't turn to look. When Nangxi finished tidying up the kitchen and came out, saw me and walked over, spoke softly, "Seventh Master, is there anything I should do?" "Not much right now. Just need to clean these thoroughly." When Nangxi saw what I was washing in the basin, his expression changed. Usually, the offal from the hunted beasts would always be thrown away because it can't be eaten. I patiently explained, these are actually good stuff. Scrubbing them with plant ash to clean them. Once they're done, they're edible. In the future, all beast offal can be kept. When Nangxi, I won't ever let you go hungry again. When Nangxi heard that and saw my earnest look, his gaze softened even more. I trust you, Seventh Master. But keeping Seventh Master from going hungry is our duty. Is there anything you need me to do? Those sweet potatoes. I plan to cut them all into small pieces. I said, okay, I'll do that. I sat to the side and quietly watched. At that moment, Zhao Jihan and Hua Ling finished cleaning the dishes and came over to help too. The three of them worked together. Soon, the chopped sweet potatoes went into the pot to be boiled with a strong fire. When they had softened and cooked down, I had just finished washing the offal. Entering the room, I saw Nangxi simmering away. Zhao Jihan and Hua Ling were mashing the sweet potatoes into paste. I was a little surprised. I didn't expect, despite their dislike. They still helped out when it was time to work. I walked up to Nangxi and said, "That's good enough. Scoop it out and filter it first." I found some gauze and a wooden bucket. Nangxi followed as instructed. "It's a bit hot now. Wait for it to cool before squeezing the gauze." Zhao Jihan moved his finger slightly. A wave of cold air wrapped around the bucket and gauze. The temperature dropped instantly. I was stunned. I turned to look at him with bright, burning eyes. I almost forgot that Zhao Jian's power was ice-based, a natural refrigerator. I wanted to ask him to help build an ice cellar to store food, but I was afraid he'd refuse. So I held back and didn't say anything. My eyes dimmed. Turning around, Zhao Jihan frowned slightly.
He lowered his voice and asked, "Is there anything I can do?"
"Is there something you need me to do?" I was taken aback. I didn't expect him to ask proactively. His voice was still cool and clear, but it didn't seem to carry the chilling coldness from yesterday. I turned to look at him, made sure his expression was calm. Then I spoke up. "Can you help me dig an ice cellar in the corner of the yard? To store meat and food, so they won't spoil and go to waste. A habit I picked up in the apocalypse. I don't like wasting ingredients." Zhao Jihan's expression changed slightly. He replied softly, "Okay." He went straight to the yard to work on the ice cellar. Such strong execution. Huai Ling seemed unwilling to be outdone. He used his power to light the firewood directly. His power is fire-based. It's the most useful today. I saw his eyes shining brightly. Huai Liye noticed that my gaze was only on his ability. I didn't even glance at him. There was a hint of grievance in his eyes. I thought he was feeling sorry for himself. So I left him immediately and walked up to Nangxi, taught him to filter the sweet potato leaves before pouring the juice into the pot to boil. Judging by the time, we should have sweet potato starch by tomorrow night. Maybe we can make sweet potato vermicelli then. Everyone's almost done with their tasks. I use hot water to take a bath. Just as I finished and was about to come out, I heard noises outside. My expression changed. I quickly rushed out of the house. I came to the doorway and saw many monsters appearing outside the door. The male beasts in the tribe were all fighting. They're mutant beasts, even more abnormal than the ones I'd seen during the day. Nangxi, Hua Lingqua, and Zhao Jihan were dealing with them. They're extremely fast. Their abilities transform into all sorts of weapons. Be careful. Zhao Jihan moved swiftly. His ice power formed a blade, which immediately pierced through a mutant beast's skull. Black blood flowed out. Zhao Jihan froze it solid with his ice ability. These mutant beasts seemed to be attacking me. Huailing unleashed his fire abilities, burning them all up. Gigi let out an eerie, sharp, laughing cry. When Nangxi moved incredibly fast, he seemed to teleport, instantly killing one mutant beast after another. Very soon, they worked together to kill all the mutant beasts. When Nangxi immediately came to my side, he looked at me carefully. Just making sure you're okay. He was worried I'd been scared. But I looked calm. I didn't seem frightened. I was only startled, not afraid. I shook my head and said, I'm fine. Zhao Jihan and Hua Lingyi looked at me in surprise. The previous me would hide in the house trembling as soon as she heard mutant beasts, would immediately hide inside, shaking. But now I'm saying I'm fine. It's only natural they're surprised. Right after I finished speaking, when Nangxi sighed softly,
he gently reached out to fix my hair.
As long as you're all right. Coming out with wet hair could get you chilled. Let's head back inside first. He reached out and picked me up. I was completely caught off guard. Instinctively wrapped my arms around his neck. Zhao Jihan and Hua Ling saw this scene, looking shocked. When Nangxi seems gentle, but he's not easy to deal with. He never let the previous me touch him. The space system in my mind shouted excitedly. Host, let him hug you more. Hold him tight and kiss him. Maybe that'll unlock the full loot drop. Resources if I really do that. He could throw me out. He hugged you first, which means he doesn't dislike you. Think of all the supplies stored in your space. I really do feel tempted, but I won't make the first move. Still, since he hugged me first, it's okay if I hold him a little longer, right? When Nangxi carried me into the house, put me down on the bed, I didn't let go. Space, give me a bit more access. When Nangxi lowered his head and looked at me gently, are you feeling uncomfortable anywhere? I pressed my lips together, bracing myself, I said. I'm a little scared. God knows, as soon as I said that, I wished I could crawl into a hole. When Nangxi felt his heart soften, he hugged me a bit tighter. Don't be scared, I'm here. I won't let mutant beasts hurt you. When Zhao Jihan and Hua Lai came inside, they happened to see this moment. Their eyes fell on me, looking complicated. Just then, the space system got excited. Host, the space released some spice packs. You can let go of him now. I hurriedly slipped out of Wen Nangxi's arms. I'm fine now. I didn't dare look at him, afraid he'd notice I was just using him as a tool. When Nangxi gave me a gentle smile. Your hair isn't dry yet. He took out a clean cloth to help me dry it. Hua Ling hesitated. He stepped forward. Let me do it. He first released a wave of heat, drying my hair. I was utterly amazed. This works way better than a hairdryer. What surprised me more was that Hua Ling usually disliked me so much. How could he take the initiative to help me? As he approached, his expression suddenly became suspicious. He is a fox beast, sensitive to sense. Before, my aura was dark and cold. Now, Hua Ling almost couldn't control his ability. A tiny flame shot out of his finger. Careful. Zhao Jihan extinguished it with his weapon. Hua Ling came back to himself and quickly apologized. Sorry. I waved my hand. It's okay, it's okay. I said it was fine, but in my heart, I guess she really wanted to burn me right now. Anyway, thank you for protecting me tonight. When Nangxi said warmly, protecting you is our duty? I didn't really believe it. The previous me was scared sick when mutant beasts barged in at night. This time, they dealt with them swiftly. I should express my thanks. So, to show my gratitude, tomorrow I'll make breakfast for you all. I'll handle breakfast. Hua Ling spoke up. Tomorrow's my turn to stay home and take care of you. I'll look after you well. I wanted Wen Nangxi to stay with me, but thought it wouldn't be fair. Hunting is very dangerous after all. What's going on with these mutant beasts? When Nangxi explained, wild beasts turn into mutant beasts after being invaded by strange dark energy. They mutate into mutant beasts. Their strength increases. They habitually attack beastmen. Normally, they only stay in the forests. But on full moon nights, they'll invade the tribe and attack beastmen. Mutant beast meat is poisonous, can't be eaten. Do you know what kind of dark energy it is? When Nangxi answered quietly, nobody knows. The colder it is to the north, the more mutant beasts there are. So beastmen who break the rules are exiled to the North Luo tribe. When Nangxi explained in detail, I now understand mutant beasts. Exiled to the North Luo tribe. In the eyes of those in Beast Emperor City, it's basically a death sentence. The climate is freezing. Mutant beasts are everywhere. Food is scarce. When the snow season arrives, mutant beasts won't appear. But if you haven't stored enough food, you'll freeze or starve just like the beast skins. Right now, it's the beginning of lunar July. Around November, snow season will start. I've got 4 months to prepare. Hopefully, my space will upgrade during this time. Then I can take out all the stockpiled supplies. But for now, I still need to get more food ready. After digesting this information, I said thank you all. I'm really fine now. I'm going to rest first. You should go rest early too. Though I spoke gently, they could sense my distance. Before, the previous me would beg them to come closer. They stayed away. Now their attitude has changed a bit, but I'm sending them away. When Nangxi tucked me in, okay, rest well. I'm right next door. Call me anytime if you need anything. I nodded. Once they all left, I immediately entered my space. The space system eagerly offered up treasures. Host, here they are. There are more seasonings now in the space fields. Vinegar, soybeans, bean paste, soy sauce. And there's also a bag of spices. My eyes lit up. With these, I can make a lot of delicious dishes. I can use these spices to make braised pork offal. They sensed how happy I was. The spatial system was happy too. He pointed at the pile of sweet potatoes. Host, these sweet potatoes are twice as big as the ones you stocked before. That's true. The Shou family's green onion ginger sweet potatoes are almost twice the size of the Mo family's. Even though they're big, the taste is very sweet. Plus, they're organic with no pesticides. Using firewood makes them extra fragrant. Store these sweet potatoes in the spatial space. I use my mind to plant them. First, I use my ability to sprout them. Then I plant them in the spatial fields. After finishing everything, I come out of the space. I heard some whispering outside the door. I quietly walked to the door. I pressed my ear against it. Zhao Jihan's voice sounded first. Did you discover something? Hue Ling whispered. I'm a 9-tailed fox beast. I'm especially sensitive to scents. I can smell the host's pheromones. It's totally different from before. Previously, his aura was cold and strange. It made people dislike him. Now it's clean and warm. Like the scent of flowers and sunlight. Makes people want to get closer. A person's pheromones, even if there are subtle changes, won't completely change into another kind. Just as the words fell, the three fell silent. A moment later, there was a hurried knock on the door outside. Big sister, are you home? It's Sister Lin from next door. I quickly got up. After the previous self came to the tribe, acted wildly, didn't get along with anyone in the tribe. Only Ling Qin from next door was friendly. She always called me Big Sister loudly. She was willing to share her harvest with the former me. I had just come out from the inner room, when Nangxi was right at the doorway. The noise at the door could wake Qiju. It's Sister Lin. Maybe something urgent happened in the middle of the night. Let's go check first. When Nangxi said, I'll go with Qiju, Zhao Jihan and Hua Ling followed behind. I opened the door. Lin Chen was standing at the door. Also, the chief and the chief's wife. Lin Chen said, Big sister, the chief and his wife have something to discuss with you. The leader cautiously addressed Miss Su. My daughter was injured by a mutant beast. Her wound is severely infected. Without a doctor, there's no way to treat her. I can only shamelessly ask Miss Sue for help. As long as you're willing to save my daughter, we'll do whatever you need us to. The leader's wife looked at me with pleading eyes. They usually hold great respect. They have never begged anyone. They are esteemed in the local area. Their son married into a wealthy city family. Their daughter Jiyu Ningning is still young. She's frail and rarely leaves home. Somehow she got bitten by a mutant beast. A little girl flashed through my mind. When my predecessor scolded her, she trembled in fear and ran away. My demeanor softened. Let's go. I'll go take a look. The leader and his wife were stunned. They couldn't believe how agreeable I was. They were all ready to kneel and beg me. The leader's wife exclaimed, "Thank you so much, Miss Sue. As long as Ningyi is cured, you will be our benefactor." I know the leader keeps his word. With this favor, life in the tribe will be way easier from now on. I arrive at the leader's home. I see a young girl around 12 or 13. She has a round face and round eyes, but is so thin her skin is wrapped around her bones. Black blood oozes from the wound on her leg. She quietly cries from the pain. The leader's wife approached. "Ningning, don't be scared. Miss Sue will check you." Jiyu Ningning saw me and instinctively shivered. I gently reassured her, "Don't worry. It'll be okay." She looked at the smile on my face, froze in place as I examined her wound. I used my wood-type healing ability. Soon, the festering wound stopped deteriorating. The dark energy was removed. Her blood became red again. The leader couple was stunned. She's fine now. With a few days of rest, the wound will heal. Her severe infection was due to her weak constitution. The leader's eyes turned red. To be honest, Miss Sue, Ningning can't eat. Anything she eats, she throws up. Every winter she's prone to catching colds. When I checked Jiyu Ningning's pulse, I also saw her spleen and stomach are very weak. Meat is hard for her to digest, especially eating it raw, which is bad for her digestion. Plus, she always stays indoors and doesn't get sunlight, making her even weaker. Meat needs to be finely cut and boiled in hot water before eating. She needs more sun on sunny days. The leader couple took notes seriously and were extremely grateful. The leader's wife brought out a bag of gold coins. This is 100 copper-colored gold coins. I hope you don't mind. In the tribe, we usually barter goods. These coins are used in city markets. When I saw the coins, my expression shifted. They can buy a lot of things. I accepted them without hesitation. As I was leaving, the leader's wife gave me some meat and cornmeal. Based on my memory, there is corn grown at the beast market, but people only cook it or grind it into powder and soak it in water. They find it harsh on the throat and don't like eating it. The tribe stores cornmeal just to avoid hunger in winter. But I know it's actually good stuff. Tomorrow morning, I can make cornmeal soup. Add some eggs, put in some sweet potatoes, make a corn, egg, and sweet potato porridge. Thinking of this, my eyes lit up. I thought for a moment and said, "Madam, cornmeal is really valuable. Miss Jiyu's digestive system is weak. Tomorrow morning you can cook some cornmeal soup for her." Mrs. Lin sighed. "I soaked it in water before. She doesn't like it. I tried cooking it in a pot but didn't know how. It doesn't taste good. From the way she speaks, it's clear she can't cook. I'll cook some and bring it for you tomorrow morning." When Nancy, Xiao Jihan, and Wolingyi were all waiting in the courtyard,
They.
listening to my smooth conversation with the leader's wife, were all surprised. Before, I was always abrasive whenever I spoke. I had never spoken so gently and softly. When I was about to leave, the leader's wife reluctantly held my hand. "Miss Sue, please come visit us when you have time." I nodded and smiled. Sure. I went home and went straight to bed. The weather was hot. Lying on animal skins at night was uncomfortable. Plus, there were mosquitoes. I thought to myself, tomorrow I'll go to the mountains to find some herbs for repelling insects and weave some grass mats. Early the next morning, I woke up. As soon as I opened the inner room door, I saw Walingi in the courtyard.
His fox-like eyes showed surprise.
The previous host used to sleep until noon.
He quickly came forward.
Spouse, you're awake. I was slightly stunned. You're up early too, huh?
He brought a basin of water and toiletries next to me.
I'm not used to this. You guys should just focus on your own things. No need to take care of me like this. Walingi awkwardly said, as your husband. This is our duty. I calmly replied, for now you are just my beast husbands in name. After 3 months, you'll leave anyway. No need for all this. I'm not used to being served by others. It feels like I'm being watched. Walingi felt uncomfortable hearing this. A wave of discomfort rose inside him. But it's still 3 months.
We should care for you these 3 months.
I spoke. You don't really need to force yourselves. Without you, I can manage on my own and not starve. Walingi felt a pang in his heart. He clearly didn't insult anyone, but hearing this made him feel heavy inside. I assured him sincerely, don't worry. I'll keep my word. After that, I washed up. There's a lot to do later. After a quick wash, I prepared to make breakfast. Using the spices that appeared in my storage last night, I stewed pork offal. Walingi watched my busy figure, thin and small, looking like he'd been abandoned by them. Pitiful to watch. Can I help with anything? I turned and saw his serious expression. So I said, the sweet potatoes I processed last night, the starch has already settled. We need to pour off the water. Add more water and stir. Let it settle again. Okay, Walingi responded. Zhao Jihan and Wen Nengxi also came to help. They woke up early. Just now, they overheard my conversation with Walingi. It seems I really intend to end the relationship this time. This made each of them show a confused expression. Nengxi said nothing and stepped forward to help with the fire. Zhao Jihan went to chop wood, cold and aloof. I remembered the scene from my first day crossing over and felt a bit resistant, not wanting much contact with him. But he did protect me dutifully last night. So I convinced myself I only need 3 more months. After sleeping last night, I felt my powers had strengthened a bit. Stewing pork offal takes a long time. You have to watch the heat. When the lead starts smoking and releases a rich aroma, when Nancy and the others looked surprised. The aroma was so strong that even the neighbors who were still sleeping were woken up by the delicious smell. They were drooling in their sleep. After the pork offal was done simmering, I used another pot to make corn and egg custard. I poured cornmeal into a wooden basin, added well water and mixed it well. Cracked bird eggs into a bowl. Used space seasoning and vinegar to get rid of the smell. Once the water in the pot was boiling, I poured in the cornmeal and stirred it. Then poured in the bird egg mixture. When Nancy watched as I made food with cornmeal like this, she was briefly stunned, looking even more puzzled. After I finished cooking, I used a ladle to serve 5 big bowls and placed them on the table. Then scooped the braised meat into a basin. All right, time to eat. Actually, braised meat goes best with steamed buns or rice. Unfortunately, there isn't any here. But according to the memories of my previous self, there is rice in the Beast World continent. The millet grains are 2 to 3 times bigger than those in the post-apocalyptic world. I went to check on Wen, Nancy, and the other 2. They had cleaned the stove entrance and the courtyard thoroughly. The firewood was chopped and stacked neatly in the corner. The cornstarch was also mixed again. While it was settling, I noticed the ice cellar in the corner of the yard. My eyes lit up. Zhao Jihan said softly, Master, I finished it last night. If you think something's not quite right, I'll adjust it for you. I squatted down to look down the steps. My foot slipped. I almost fell. Zhao Jihan reached out to try and protect me. But thinking how much he despises me, I could only fall to the other side, landing on the ground. Zhao Jihan's fingers trembled slightly. I didn't notice his unusual reaction. I slid down the steps. Was very pleased to see the ice cellar was full of ice blocks. Thank you, Zhao Jihan. The pork left from yesterday can all be stored here now. I looked up at him. My eyes and brows filled with a genuine smile. Master, let me know if you need anything else. I waved my hand. No need, let's eat breakfast first. I put a big bowl of corn and egg custard into a basket. You guys eat first. I'm taking this to Jiu. She's very weak. She should be able to drink this. When Nancy stood up, Master, eat first, I'll go instead. No need for me to go myself. I can check his health while I'm at it. Actually, what I was thinking is, if I help Jiu recover, the tribe will know that my medical skills rival those of the witch doctor. My status in the tribe will also improve. Once I leave these beastmen, I'll be able to live well on my own. On the way to the chief's house, there are many people around. The adults automatically avoid me. Only a few skinny kids stare at me and call me ugly freak. Ugly and mean just a freak. Don't talk about him. He'll hit people. I listened to their comments, bathing in the sunlight, with a smile on my face, not caring at all. I smiled back at them, but they got scared and dashed off. They made me laugh. Pretty cute, actually. Those with weak abilities. Some haven't fully taken shape yet, showing their adorable ears or skinny, furry bodies. At the chief's house, the chief's wife was surprised to see me deliver the corn egg custard myself. She was amazed. How can we accept this? It's too much. Madam, let Ning try some.
He has a weak digestive system.
Let him drink something easy to digest first, to nourish him. So I said I'd check his pulse. The place bitten by the mutated beast is completely healed. Watching the soup pass to him, I stood up. As I was about to leave, Wu Ningning boldly tugged at my sleeve, blinking his eyes, looking pitiful. My heart softened. I gently patted him. Try the corn egg custard first. Drink more and get some sunlight. You'll get better. He obediently scooped up a spoonful to drink. He took a sip. His eyes sparkled. It smells so good. The chief's wife was stunned. Miss Mu Yao, how did you make this? I used to give Ningning cornmeal. He would spit it out every time. I explained the method. She finally understood. After going home, I found Wen Nangxi and the other two still waiting for me. Why are you just standing here? Why haven't you eaten, Wailing? The fox's eyes curved. He looked at me with special meaning. Seventh Master, did you forget the rules? If you haven't eaten, we can't eat either. Before, we could only eat leftovers from you. Now that the abandoned master lets us eat at the table, it's much better for us. How could we eat first? When Huiling spoke, his fox eyes stared at me intently. Focused, almost naturally affectionate. I almost got lost in his gaze. Luckily, I stayed calm and rational. Ah, that was before. I chuckled. I promised you 3 months as a trial, didn't I? I'm just thinking, let's get along peacefully for 3 months first. After you gain your freedom, don't cause me any trouble. Isn't that right? When Nangxi's handsome brows moved. Rest assured, Seventh Master, Nangxi would never harm you, not even a little. Wailing Thee is much calmer now. I hope you always stay like this. Don't become how you used to be. Zhao Jihan stayed silent. I thought for a moment and said, I really was wrong before. I'm apologizing to you. I'll never do that again. I know you may not believe me, but time reveals people's true hearts. You'll just have to bear with it a bit longer. Maybe I could even end our contract with you early. When Nangxi's eyes softened. It's not your fault, but don't go hungry. Eat first. I finished the corn egg custard and said, after we eat, I'll go hunting with you guys. All right, I'll go with you, Seventh Master. Wailing raised the corner of his eye. Today it's my turn to accompany you. Where does Seventh Master want to go? Ling will take you anywhere you want. His voice rose softly at the end. I didn't dare meet his gaze. Actually, I wanted to go with Wen Nangxi, but I could sense the tense rivalry between them, so I could only lower my head and say, let's just stick to the rules. The food at dinner was all delicious. They didn't want to eat the pig offal at first, but after smelling its aroma, they gave in. No female beast is willing to cook for beastmen. Just for this alone, it shouldn't be wasted. You only realize how tasty it is when you actually eat it. Everyone unconsciously started eating faster. They kept eyeing me curiously. I kept my head down, eating quietly, only showing the top of my head. This meal was torture. Finally, I'm full. I looked up. Their bowls and the plate of braised dishes were empty. Did you not get enough to eat? When Nancy smiled gently. We're full. Seventh Master's cooking is really delicious. Before, we used to throw these things away. Looking back now, it was such a waste. After dinner, they rushed to clean up the dishes. Then Wen Langxi and Zhao Jihan went hunting. Walingi took me to the forest. He transformed into his true form. A 9-tailed red fox over 2 meters tall. I was stunned by how beautiful it was. Really gorgeous. His red fox fur was noble and striking. Now I realize why my predecessor was obsessed with using it. To make clothes from fox fur? Waling's body is tall and slim. I tried jumping a few times but couldn't get on. He wrapped me with one of his tails and gently placed me on his back. Where does Seventh Master want to go? Do you know where there are lots of medicinal herbs? I want to collect herbs for antidotes. Also, all 3 of them need treatment for internal and external injuries. My predecessor's abuse triggered their mental rampage, making their injuries much worse. I have a duty to heal them. That way, we won't owe each other anything. All right, I'll take you there. Walingi ran incredibly fast. I instinctively hugged him. Hugging fox fur feels nothing like hugging a snake. It's so comfortable. Pretty, soft, and fluffy. It even smells gently fragrant. I felt enchanted and couldn't help reaching out to touch it. Waling's body shuddered. He stopped in the woods. He said in a low, hoarse voice, Seventh Master, what are you touching? My scalp tingled. Nothing. Don't get the wrong idea. I just accidentally grabbed your fur. I didn't dare move anymore. I didn't dare put my hand back on Waling's red fur. Even though it really felt good, but I still want to live. Walingi sensed something was wrong with me. He instantly turned back into human form and hugged me, gently placing me on the ground. Seventh Master, what's wrong? He lowered his head to look at me. His voice softened. I kept my head down, staring at my toes, quietly explaining. I didn't mean to grab your red fur. It's just that you ran so fast. If I don't hold on, I'll fall off. No way am I admitting that I actually stroked it. Walingi looked down at me like that, and his voice got even softer. It's fine, grab it however you want. I froze and looked up into his eyes. There was no coldness. Instead, he looked gentle. He wasn't planning to retaliate here. I sighed in relief. Good. Walingi shifted back into beast form again.
He wrapped me up with his tail and put me on his back.
We were just about to set off. Suddenly, I saw a tree next to us. Wait, let me down first. I ran over to take a closer look. My heart started racing. This is wheat. Its stalks are thicker and taller than the inkstone. They're loaded with big golden grains. Walingi walked over. What's wrong? This is a food called wheat. I excitedly shared this with him. Walingi didn't really get it, but he asked if the 7 Master needed to pick these. Yes, cut the whole thing down. The stalks can be used for fuel or crafting things. Harvested the wheat. I started seeing Walingi in a much better light. If he hadn't led the way, I never would have discovered it. Now I can make noodles when we get back. Walingi quickly helped out, cut down the wheat stalks. I put them directly into my storage space. He was stunned for a second. Spatial ability. I nodded and he looked surprised, but didn't say much. 7 Master, do you need anything else? I looked around to see if there was more. Any more wheat? The space system said, within 100 miles. None. I felt a bit disappointed. Walingi transformed into his true form and leapt up the tall tree. He used the tiger eye ability and came down. Said there's one more. I'll take you to it. My eyes lit up. He led me there. Cut it down, I collected it into storage. Suddenly, the space system got excited. Host, 60 meters to your right is cabbage. I turned to look. A whole patch of cabbage. Although it's normal sized, it's plenty. With cabbage, we can make dumplings and pies. Excited, I grabbed the bone knife. About to dig, Walingi walked over. Let me handle it, Seven Master. You just rest nearby. He saw how excited I was. He knew this grass must be special. I smiled brightly, beamed and said, It's fine, let's dig together. This is cabbage. With wheat and cabbage, we can make cabbage and meat, fillings for dumplings and buns, stir-fry cabbage, and we can pickle it too. Pickled cabbage lasts a long time. When it's snow season and we can't hunt outside, we'll stir-fry the pickled cabbage with smoked meat. Gotta smoke the meat ahead of time too. Waling's expression changed slightly. So this really is food. He started digging faster. Soon, all the cabbage was dug up. I stored it in the space. Thank you. I'll make you something delicious tonight. Waling's brows and eyes moved. Seventh Master, no need to thank me. It's my honor to eat the food you make. I didn't take it seriously. This guy is really good at charming people. Let's head to the place where the medicinal herbs are. Walingi turned into his true form and carried me deep into the forest. After an hour, we arrived at a valley. A strong medicinal scent hit us. The valley was full of all kinds of herbs. Walingi warned me, some of these herbs are poisonous. Previously, a wild beast entered and was poisoned on the spot. I nodded. Don't worry, I know what I'm doing. I carefully dug up the herbs with a bone knife, especially when I saw those key herbs that can cure my body's toxins. Once the toxins are cured, my appearance will recover. While digging, a cold, mocking laughter suddenly came from the air. I became fully alert, looked around but found nothing. Space system, did you notice anything? Host, nothing was detected. It's just that the herb by your foot is poisonous. Don't touch me. The cold voice carried killing intent. I focused and said, It might be those 5 beastmen from Beastwong City. Sent someone to kill me. The space system became tense. Host, I have energy to protect you. It's fine. Worst case, just use that way to quickly boost my strength. Forcefully absorb nearby plants. Their energy can enhance my abilities. But my body can't handle it and might explode or stay weak for a long time. The system said anxiously. That's only for emergencies. The space system tried to comfort the host. Don't be afraid of the 9-tailed fox or beastman. There's soul energy on the fox fur around the area. If you're in danger, he'll come back. I said calmly, they probably want me dead. I don't expect them to come back to protect me. Just as I finished speaking, a sharp laughter rang out from the sky. A giant black bird with a sharp beak swooped down to attack me. The first attack was blocked by a red glow surrounding May. It was the barrier from the fox fur's power. Walingi really doesn't want me dead. After being blocked, the giant bird swooped down again. I activated my power, one hand gripping the bone knife. The other started absorbing the energy from nearby plants. My energy and blood surged. Just then, a flaming sword pierced straight through the giant bird. Walingi landed in front of me. His 9 tails enveloped me.
Taking a protective stance.
He really came back. He didn't say much. He started fighting right away. 2 more giant birds appeared in the air, attacking wildly. Walingi protected me, while drawing his bow and shooting arrows. One of the giant birds transformed into human form. Sharply said, Walingi, your body is infected with fire poison. You forcefully use your magical tools to fight us. This ocean of chaos will erupt. You won't die, but you'll be crippled. All just to protect such a vicious female beast. It's not worth it. Our master has a secret technique to break beast couple vows. If she dies, you won't die either. Join us. Our master will give you the technique.
Hearing this,
My expression changed. My palm quickly absorbed natural energy. Forcefully boosting my power takes time. I can't leave my safety in the hands of others. Walingi gave a seductive smile. She is my wife, master. I will never let anyone hurt her. He forcefully pulled his magical tool, started channeling his supernatural power. Even standing behind him, I could feel the burning flames enveloping his whole body. Whoosh, whoosh. Arrows shot straight at the three giant birds. One suddenly changed direction, hit the one who was speaking. He stared at Walingi in disbelief. You must have a death wish. He widened his eyes, fell from the sky, burned to ash by the flames. The other two died as well. Walingi turned to look at me, carefully checked. Are you hurt? Anywhere uncomfortable? I shook my head. I'm fine. But I saw his fox eyes glowing red. His body was trembling. Blood was oozing from the corner of his mouth. Wally, what's wrong with you? He could barely stay in human form. His whole body became thin, collapsed to the ground. Don't come close. I'll hurt you. You should run. Looking at him like this, I was deeply moved. He ignored his own pain to comfort me.
He saved me, I can't ignore him.
I won't run or leave. You became like this to save me. I won't let anything happen to you. Walingi still had a bit of sanity left. His fox eyes trembled. I walked up, put my hand on his head, released healing powers into his body. He passed out. I entered his mental sea. I saw a little Honghu beast, about 5 or 6 years old. Beat him to death. He and his father deserved to die. Covered in lowly red fox fur. Such a shameful creature. Many people beat and kicked him. He didn't make a sound, just carefully guarded what was in his arms. They got tired of beating him, left, and he limped back to the rundown yard, turned into human form, wiped the dirt from his face, went inside to boil water and brew medicine. After brewing the medicine, went to the bedside. Dad, you need to get up and take your medicine. A figure on the bed was shrouded in mist. Linye, did they beat you again? Little Waling tried to keep his voice calm. Dad, I'm really okay. Drink your medicine first. You'll be fine after you drink it. If Linye has to live on. Dad, don't say things like that. Linye can't be without his dad. His voice choked with tears and trembled. The person on the bed gently stroked his hair and sighed deeply. The scene changed. In snowy days, Waleen's dad became sicker. Waleen knelt to beg the family head for a shaman. Didn't see anyone. Was kicked out by the guards. He knelt for a long time. Completely injured, but it was useless. His father died in the snow. He went back to the yard and cried in silence, but was beaten and cursed. Little bastard, you and your father both deserve to die. The family head never acknowledged your existence. Watching all this, my chest hurt badly. He was so young when he went through all this. I wanted to rush in and protect him, but a barrier blocked me. Only now did I break through the barrier. Walked up to him, squatted down and gently picked him up. It's okay. Everything will be okay from now on. All my wood-type powers flooded into his body. Walingi fell into a frenzy, his spirit trapped in childhood. His whole body hurt. Unable to save his dad. Wanted repeatedly to die with his dad. But remembered what his dad said. That he had to live on. When he was in despair. A beam of light appeared in the yard. A woman walked out from the light. Graceful as an orchid in a secluded valley. Beautiful and otherworldly. He smiled at her. Just like sunshine. The aura around him felt so warm. It made him want to get closer. You're wonderful. Don't listen to what those people say. I held her in my arms. Waves of warm light flooded in, wrapping around her. His spiritual sea was gradually being restored. The wind and snow faded away, surrounded by the warmth of sunlight. In the sea of consciousness, he turned into an adult. He looked at me. The 9-tailed red fox spirit couldn't help but wrap around me, hugging tightly. The fox's tail seemed to coil up from my legs. The fox's eyes were filled with a bewitching charm. My whole body instantly tingled intensely. No, stop. This tingling, trembling sensation all over my body. I just couldn't resist it at all. Waling's fox eyes narrowed slightly. His gaze filled with extreme desire. The spirit's 9 tails wrapped all around me, yet he managed not to hurt me. So fragrant. His voice was incredibly alluring. Walingi, wake up. I quickly dodged. Don't you hate me? Look, who am I? I shouted, but it was useless. No, don't bite. His head lowered toward my neck. A warm breath landed there. My whole body went weak instantly. Huilian. I called his name, but my voice was soft, as if I was being coquettish. No, that's not my voice at all. I instantly shut up.
If this keeps going,
Inside his spiritual sea, he could devour me. I used my wood-based power to soothe him again, until his eyes finally calmed down. Only then did I quickly leave his spiritual sea. Using too much power, my legs went weak and I couldn't stand. After Walingi woke up, he reverted to his human form and hugged me right away. Watch out, Master Key. He lowered his head and looked at me. His gaze had a lingering, gentle warmth. I gently pushed at his chest. My palm felt the strength of his abs. I pulled back as if I'd touched something hot. Let go of me first. The space system suddenly spoke. Host, let him hold you. I upgraded the space a bit. The farmland doubled in size. Now there's an acre. A small pool of well water appeared. It's spiritual spring water. Spiritual spring water can strengthen the body. It detoxifies and refines. It restores abilities. I swept my senses across the space. I did see the spiritual spring, but there wasn't much. As long as the host becomes more intimate with the beastmen, the spiritual spring water will increase. Hue Ling slowly let go of me. His gaze still lingered with affection. I let out a sigh of relief. I asked him, "How are you feeling now? Are you better?" "Yeah, I'm better." "What's the deal with the fire poison in your body?" When I transferred abilities, I sensed that domineering fire poison. Hue Ling's expression turned bitter. It was the fire poison they put in my body when I was a child. "You mean the Su family?" I knew he was from Shaowang City. Su is the son of Su family head. But he doesn't have the Su surname. That's right, it was for easier control. Something occurred to me. I sighed inwardly. I'm sorry. Because of me back then, you had to marry and become a show husband. You've worked so hard. Qianshan, at the Shaowang banquet, saw that graceful, upright Su family heir. He used his connections to force the Su family to marry. The Su family substituted someone else. They had the neglected Hua Ling marry instead. Qianshan vented all his anger on her. She silently endured it all. Hua Ling reached out, gently fixing my hair that was blown messy by the wind. It's not your fault. And leaving the Su family back then was actually a good choice for me. The fire poison was put in me very early on. Right after he finished speaking, he suddenly looked stunned. The fire poison is suppressed, and some of it was resolved. He looked at me, shocked. I spoke seriously. Don't worry. Once my ability increases, I'll completely cure your fire poison. For now, I can only remove it bit by bit, but I can help you suppress it. My gaze was clear and sincere, and I was telling the truth. I truly wanted to cure Hua Ling's fire poison. Hua Li couldn't hold back and hugged me again. This time, he held me tightly, almost like he wanted to merge me into his heart. My heart raced. Is he going to... Kiju, thank you. His voice was hoarse. His fox-like eyes were tinged with a seductive red. Before, every time the fire acted up, it was never this easy to control, let alone alleviate some of it. This is already great. I sighed inwardly. The former self did many terrible things. The three of them stayed by his side, each for their own reasons. I'll help heal their bodies, and then let them go free. Someday, the fire poison will be fully cured. Feeling him holding me without letting go, I spoke softly. It's getting late. Let's eat something first. We'll pick herbs this afternoon and get home early. I also want to grind the wheat into flour soon. Hue Ling finally let go, albeit reluctantly. All right, let's eat first. Kiju, wait a moment. I hunted 2 wild chickens. I just sensed you were in danger. He dropped the wild chickens and rushed back. Hearing wild chickens, my eyes lit up. Then let's eat wild chicken soon. Okay. He finished speaking and quickly picked up the wild chickens with me. Wow, these wild chickens are pretty big. How could that be okay? Hue Ling paused for a moment. Wild chicken meat is firmer and tastier. I'm glad you like it. My lashes trembled. That was then. Now I think chicken is delicious. His gaze softened. Zhao Xin put the eggs into the space. I'll hunt wild chickens often for you. We'll all eat together. Whatever wild game you hunt. And his Adam's apple bobbed slightly. Maybe there's eggs around here? I glanced around. Did you catch them nearby? If we can hatch chicks, we could raise some in the yard. Hui Ling said he'd look for them. Let's search together. We walked around. The space system suddenly got excited. Wild chicken eggs are under the tree in the grass. Host, walk forward 100 meters. I quickly headed over. Sure enough, I found wild chicken eggs in the grass. Hui Ling was moved. There's actually 15. There really are wild chicken eggs. I smiled with my eyes. Looking closely, they can all be hatched into chicks. Let's take them home first. Let me do it, Kiju. You just wait nearby. I explained. You should eat quickly, too. As long as the temperature is right. Hui Ling and I found a spot by the creek. I blinked. He took the initiative, getting ready to process the wild chickens. He was especially swift. We can use these eggs to hatch chicks at home. After he finished, I spoke up. Let's make beggar's chicken. I took out mushrooms, scallions, and ginger we picked yesterday from the space. Put them inside the chicken. Spread seasoning on it. Wrap it with lotus leaves. With gentle eyes. I stared expectantly at the beggar's chicken, and he took out a clean handkerchief again to dry them for me. He followed my directions. When it was ready, he used his fire ability to roast the food. A rich aroma wafted out. But now his appetite was triggered. Once it's cooked, Hui Ling followed my instructions. While roasting, eating only 2 meals a day, first peeling off the mud. It was just the right temperature. The chicken was still hot, and my stomach growled. He spoke softly, it'll be ready soon. Hui Ling had never seen this method before. He ignored the heat, covered the outside with a layer of mud, and cut the meat with a small knife. He placed it on lotus leaves. His Adam's apple moved. He used his ability to control the temperature. His eyes were full of deep, gentle warmth. Wrapped it up and handed it to me. Hui Ling looked at me. He was careful, taking good care of me even while eating. Now, whenever Hui Ling looked at me, the taste immediately filled my mouth with fragrance.
Delicious.
I took it and took a bite. Natural ingredients are just the best. It even had a hint of lotus leaf aroma. Hui Ling focused on cutting more chicken, slicing it so it'd be easier for me to eat. You should eat too. It's fine, I'm not hungry. I took a few bites and looked at him. You eat first, Kiju. He worried 2 chickens wouldn't be enough for me. It'd be a waste. We roasted 2 chickens after all. When Hui Ling looked down at me, let's all eat together. I can't eat much anyway. His gaze was deep. What's wrong? Is there something on my face? You don't know which ones are poisonous. I looked up into his enchanting, fox-like eyes. I touched my face with my hand. There's nothing. His eyes darkened. I started to laugh. It's nothing. Don't move. He's only being nice to me because of the fire poison. I figured he was just too embarrassed to eat, and gently wiped the meat crumbs from the corner of my mouth, his voice sounding strained. There, that's better. A tingling sensation instantly rushed to my heart. My heart skipped a beat. It's ready to eat. His fingers seemed a bit reluctant to pull away. I steadied my mind. Thinking this way, the ripples in my heart instantly settled. I'll turn it into a feast for everyone. He showed a stunning, seductive smile. You won't have much strength. Hui Ling gave me a complicated look. We can hatch chicks from these eggs. I smelled the aroma. I'm actually very strong and capable. And his Adam's apple kept bobbing, not understanding his meaning. The tips of his ears turned slightly red. If Kiju likes it, how is it? Does it taste good? It's delicious. I picked up 2 pieces and stuffed them into his mouth. I sighed. As his fingertips brushed against my lips, it's the most delicious food I've ever eaten, I said with a smile. Then he reached out with his slender fingers, When you guys go out hunting later, if you catch wild chickens, you can make them like this. It's very simple. Hunted beasts must first be brought back for the female master to eat. He paused for a moment. All right. After we finished eating, he used a silk handkerchief dipped in water to wipe my fingers one by one. They're 1.5 times larger than post-apocalypse farm chickens. I was a bit unaccustomed to it. I washed my hands. After everything was packed up, I began to dig up medicinal herbs. I can just go to the river and wash them. Kiju used to dislike wild chickens, saying they were too small and not tasty. Hue Ling wanted to help, but I declined. He usually skips lunch. I'd better do it myself. I began to dig up medicinal herbs. Hue Ling wanted to help, but I declined. Then ran my tongue over my lips. I'd better do it myself. He can only keep watch. I finished gathering the herbs. It's getting late. We're about to go home. The Weilingi transforms into the body of the pot. It carefully wraps it up with its tail. I sit on its back. After walking for a while, I sit properly. Without touching him, he quietly said, "Key Master, you can hold on to me tightly. Otherwise, you'll fall off." Only then did I reach out and hug it. Its red fur is super comfortable. There's even a faint egg scent. I really want to touch its ears and tail. But remembering how much they dislike that, I held back. Unbeknownst to me, the instant I hugged it, Weilingi nearly lost its footing. Its body trembled. It started moving faster and faster. Afraid I'd fall off, I could only hold it tighter. When we got home, when Nangxi and Zhao Jihan had already brought back the game. When Nangxi saw me hugging Huilingi tightly for a moment, her gaze darkened. She hurried forward, naturally picked me up from Huilingi. Wife Master is back. I felt the cool touch from Wen Nangxi. It's really comfy. I was just about to get scorched from Huilingi's heat. We're here. Key Master, are you tired? When Nangxi gently helped tidy up my hair, her gaze seemed slightly restrained. I snapped out of it, shook my head and said, "I'm fine. This little bit of work doesn't tire me out." As I spoke, I stepped back a little, avoiding Wen Nangxi's touch. A trace of disappointment appeared in her eyes. I stayed calm and rational, and started sorting the herbs. I harvested some herbs and set them out to dry in the yard. Later, I can process them and make herbal sachets. The sweet potato starch has settled again. When Nangxi walked over and asked, "Key Master, is there anything you need me to do?" "We need to drain the water off the top, leaving just the starch at the bottom." He used his power to absorb all the water from the jar. I thought of Walling's fire ability and turned to look at him. Happened to meet his captivating gaze. He quickly walked over. "Key Master, do you need my help with anything? Can you dry this starch out? Gently bake it, just like air drying." He nodded with a smile. After finishing, he turned around. "Key Master, will this work?" I reached out and touched it, smiling, and said, "Yes, it's great. Tonight I'll make sweet potato noodles for you all." Zhao Jihan looked at Wen Nangxi and Weilingi surrounding me, with something odd flickering in his gaze. At night, I made pork ribs and fishball soup, braised pork, stir-fried cabbage, and sweet potato noodles. Everyone sat down to eat. Every dish was delicious. When Nangxi looked at my hands with concern. "The food Key Master makes is so good. From now on, Key Master just needs to ask. Let us do the cooking." Key Master's palm is burned. It must hurt a lot. I got splashed with oil while cooking. I don't think it's a big deal. No worries, this little burn doesn't hurt at all. Besides, everyone helped out while cooking. Not sure why. They could all sense a subtle change in my aura. Even these little things, he can sense. After dinner, everyone scrambled to clear the dishes. I went outside to work on the herbs. When Nangxi came right away. "Wife Master, do you need anything done?" "Let me handle it." "It's okay, I'll do it myself." He carefully apologized. "Sorry, I shouldn't have said that at dinner. It's not your fault." "Is Key Master angry?" "No, I'm not angry," I replied calmly. Yet he still felt like I put up a barrier around myself. Wiley was looking for chores to do in the yard. With nothing to do, he grabbed a rag and started wiping the door frame. I busied myself for a while and made 4 insect repellent sachets. These 3 are for you guys. Put them by your beds tonight, and you won't get bitten by mosquitoes. When Nancy seemed conflicted, "Thank you, Keymaster." "You're welcome. You guys take good care of me every day. And even risk hunting. Making these is nothing much for me. We, as beast husbands, should take care of Wife Master." I smiled a little. "You treat me well, and as Wife Master, I want to treat you well too. Care goes both ways. There's no should or shouldn't. I just hope in the future you remember these little things I did for you." In Wen Nangxi's eyes, a shadow flickered by. He probably knows now. I'm worried they might hurt me. At night when sleeping, I originally couldn't fall asleep lying there. Suddenly caught a familiar faint scent, opened my eyes, and saw the fiery red fox beside the bed. "Hui Liani, why are you here?" "It's so late. Weren't they avoiding me at all costs?" I stared at the fiery red fox by the bed. My body trembled. I instinctively sat up, scooted deeper into the bed, and kept backing up till I hit the wall. Wailini's fox eyes showed a hint of grievance. "So you think I'm some monster?" He slowly approached, looking down at me, his voice raspy and seductive. "I'm Wife Master's beast husband. I'm worried about Wife Master. I want to keep watch for Wife Master tonight." I looked at him with a strange expression. By my past life's memory, this had never happened before. "Aren't you afraid I'll do something to you tonight? Or I could use that kind of aphrodisiac. Then what would you do?" I thought he'd be scared, but his fox eyes actually turned expectant. He moved closer to me, suavely and seductively said, "Actually, Keymaster doesn't need to use anything. I can be Keymaster's person anytime." I stared in shock, quickly grabbed the beast hide beside me and wrapped myself up. I'm not feeling well right now. I can't use anything." Wei Lingyi watched my reaction. His throat moved slightly, held back something. He came close to my ear, whispering, "Keymaster, don't be afraid. Without your permission, Ling won't do anything. Just worried a mutant beast might show up. So I'm staying in the room to keep watch. That way Keymaster can sleep peacefully." I looked up at his serious face, met his eyes with understanding and said, "Thank you for your trouble. Having someone keep watch at night is good. Besides, in my past life, it's rare for them to be so interested in me." I lay down at ease and quickly fell asleep. In my sleep, I vaguely felt a warm touch, gently wrapped around me. It was comfy, not sure how much time passed, when a wave of refreshing coolness appeared in the room. Sleepily, I heard a voice lowered in volume. "Wenangxi, what are you doing here?" "That's what I should be asking you. Why aren't you sleeping in the middle of the night, coming here instead?" It was the voices of Weilingyi and Wenangxi. My mind was fuzzy. Only the lazy sound of Woling's voice could be heard. "As a beastman, of course I'm here to accompany my Wife Master. According to the rules, isn't my Wife Master mine today as well?" Wenangxi replied coldly. "What do you want to do?" Wolingyi smiled flirtatiously. "Nothing. I just want to spoil my master." Wenangxi was silent for a moment. His voice grew deeper. "What happened in the forest today? Did you force him to do something? Did you use your charm to confuse Seventh Master? Make him be with you?" Woling's tone became serious too. "Wenangxi, he is my 7th master. What I do with him isn't something I need to report to you. Wolingyi, if you don't love him, then don't mess with him. And don't even think about hurting him, not even a little. I just want to protect him. Wenangxi, what's wrong with you tonight?" Wenangxi fell silent for a moment. His voice was cold and deep. The words he said when he gave us the insect repellent sachets. "Didn't you notice? He doesn't trust us.
He thinks we might hurt him.
He can't say anything. But I can guarantee I would never hurt her, Not even a little. And I absolutely won't allow anyone else to hurt her, not even a little. Walene spoke angrily. Nangxi, what are you talking about? How could I possibly hurt Seventh Master? When Nangxi's voice was icy. Then what were you planning to do while he was asleep just now? Walengi blushed. I just wanted to hold him. I didn't mean to do anything. He looked aside, thinking. Wait, when Nangxi, you're acting weird. Before, whenever we did things to Seventh Master, you never reacted like this. So why are you uneasy now when I get close to Seventh Master? You don't seem pleased. Don't you also dislike Seventh Master? When Nangxi's expression changed. He's different now. Woling's voice became softer. You know he's different from before too. Seventh Master can suppress my fire poison for me, and even relieve a part of it. I find it unbelievable. So, he's so good. How could I possibly hurt him? Not even a little. When Nangxi, Seventh Master doesn't belong to you alone anymore. I'll take good care of him too. After a moment of silence, when Nangxi's voice rang out again, Mei Kinkin and Shen Zion still haven't come back. They have a secret technique that restrains the beast couple's bond. And there are people from Beast Emperor City. They might try to do something to Seventh Master. We need to be fully prepared. Hui Ling's tone also turned heavy. 3 assassins came to the woods today, trying to assassinate Seventh Master. Those people work for Jiang Mochuan. When Nangxi's voice turned cold, Jiang Mochuan, Hui Ling sneered. Jiang Mochuan is the most famous person in Beast Emperor City. Back then, Seventh Master did many crazy things for him. They say a day's marriage lasts 100 days in kindness. I can't believe he'd send assassins to kill Seventh Master. How ruthless. The words after that grew more and more unclear. I drifted off to sleep, but I know, at least those 2 are no longer a threat to me. The next morning when I woke up, Jia Jihan was waiting at the door to help me wash up. I felt a bit helpless. I could only call Wen, Nangxi, and Hualing over together. From now on, I can handle my own washing up. You don't have to take care of me like this. Jia Jihan's face paled slightly. He instinctively lowered his head. I'm sorry. I didn't take good care of Seventh Master. It's my fault. Please punish me, Seventh Master. I hurried to explain. No, you don't have to do this. And you don't need to apologize. I won't punish you either. Actually, I'm just not used to it. I was stunned for a moment. A memory surged in my mind. In order to fool the 5 beastmen, protected him on the road to exile. My former self did say we would part ways after reaching the tribe. Put on a great act, but threw the sword at him when he let his guard down. Oh dear, I wish I could cover my face and hide somewhere. Judging by his expression, he really intends to kill. If not for his concerns, Zhao Jihan would have killed me already. Zhao Jihan has always resolutely stood in front of me. Mei Qingqin, no matter what happens. I won't let you hurt the 7th master. If you want to fight, let's fight. I hurried to speak. Mei Qingqin, this time what I say is different from before. Before I could finish my words, sword energy filled with murderous aura came to strike me. Zhao Jihan instantly blocked the attack with his blade. When the powerful forces collided with the ground, dust rose everywhere. The two of them started fighting quickly. They moved too fast. I could only see after images. Even the walls were damaged by the sword energy. The space system exclaimed, "Host, these two are really strong. If you sleep with them, your strength will increase rapidly." The corner of my mouth twitched. Do you think that's possible? Host, you can win them over. I touched my half-disfigured face. I'm not beautiful right now. Host, you are still extremely beautiful. Your inner beauty counts too. A vein popped on my forehead. System, hurry and stop them. If they keep fighting, the house is going to collapse. The space system checked for a while. Host, Mei Qingqin, that sword has been tainted by dark energy. Your power can heal him. You can negotiate to mend the sword. He won't kill you. I sighed in relief and shouted loudly. Mei Qingqin, I can repair this sword. If I can't repair it, you can kill me then. I mean it. You can let me try right now. Mei Qingqin paused his attack, looked at me suspiciously. His voice was full of coldness. You just said you could repair this sword. My tense heart slowly relaxed. Yes, I can repair it. You can let me try first.
If I fail?
You can kill me then. Mei Qingqin didn't believe me at all. But this is his life-bound sword. It's very important to him.
He risked his life to get it back.
Tried countless ways and couldn't fix it. He didn't believe I, the well-known loser, could fix it. Zhao Jihan also looked at me. Mei Qingqin, you can let the 7th master give it a shot? Mei Qingqin sneered. Zhao Jihan, it hasn't even been that long since we last met. Now you're already defending him. Sumiyang, you really know how to manipulate. He looked at the broken, dark energy-emitting sword and said through clenched teeth, Fine, I'll let you try. I want to see what tricks you're up to. Even if there's a slight chance. He still wants to try. He walked toward me. Zhao Jihan stayed alert by my side. Mei Qingqin stopped at a safe distance and placed the sword in front of me. Is that right? Honestly, I wish I could stay far away from Mei Qingqin. Zhao Jihan noticed keenly. He reached out to block, completely cutting off that dangerous aura. I breathed a sigh of relief and whispered my conditions.
If I manage to fix it.
You can't lay a hand on me anymore. You can't kill me. Of course, my end of the bargain. In 3 months, I'll set you free. Let you all leave. Mei Qingqin stared at me. A hint of confusion flashed across his face. He said coldly, Fine, but if you can't fix it, I'll kill you. Zhao Jihan bowed his head and whispered, Don't worry, nothing will happen. I looked at him gratefully. Thank you, Zhao Jihan. I want to live. I'll cook something delicious for you tonight. Mei Qingqin let out a laugh. The sun must have really risen in the west today. You'll do anything to save your skin. You really know how to pretend. I steadied myself and focused on the sword. As I got closer, I could almost hear the sword wailing. I reached out and released my wood power. Green light covered the sword. The darkness started to fade away. Mei Qingqin's expression grew serious. I channeled all my energy into my power, as if I entered the sword spirit's mind. The dark mist dispersed. The sword spirit disappeared. The wailing came just as that blurry figure was about to turn around. My power was depleted. Blood gushed from my mouth. I staggered and almost collapsed. Zhao Jihan hurried to catch me. 7th master, I'll take you to see the healer. I said weakly. I'm fine. I just ran out of power. Mei Qingqin gave me a complicated look and disappeared like the wind. He quickly brought back the shaman. The shaman diagnosed me. Overexhausted power. Heartburn from anxiety. Not enough energy and blood. And there's also poison in your body. This poison makes people irritable and angry. That's why half your face is ruined.
Hearing this,
Both Zhao Jihan and Mei Qingqin's faces changed. The shaman saw how calm I was. You're pretty calm for a young girl. Clearly, you already knew. I can only prescribe medicine to nourish your qi and blood. There's no cure for the poison. I calmly said, "Thank you, elder shaman. I actually knew about it. No need for the medicine. I just need to rest." After the shaman left, Zhao Jihan whispered, "I'm sorry." "I didn't know you were poisoned." Seventh Master. I touched my cheek. "It's fine, it's not your fault. I can detoxify myself." Zhao Jihan looked shocked. The Imperial Healer. Never found anything wrong with your body. How did this happen? I gave a faint smile. Guess I was too successful. The royal family feared the power of my Su family. If I died, everything of the Su family would go to the royal family. He gave me a complicated look, fell silent for a moment, said the poison makes people irritable and impulsive. "So the things you did before, Seventh Master, were because you were poisoned." But I answered his question first. "Not entirely, I'm sorry. It was all my fault before. I shouldn't have treated you like that. You suffered exile because of me, because you were implicated by me. I'll correct all those bad behaviors. Within these 3 months, I'll treat you all well." Held by Zhao Jihan, my wood power recovered a bit. He looked at me seriously in his arms, his eyes clear and sincere. He answered softly, "I'll protect you too, host." At this moment, a box appeared in my space. Mei Qingqin was looking at his sword and realized it was half repaired. The dark aura had disappeared. He gave me a complicated look. Hearing what I said, his expression changed. I said, "Mei Qingqin, the sword is only half repaired. After I regain my power, I'll fix it for you." He looked at my pale face and said softly, "I keep my word. I won't lay a hand on you again." I relaxed and smiled. No matter what, I was wrong to throw your sword into Death Valley before. I apologize to you. I looked at Zhao Jihan. "You two go do your thing. I'll go get some sleep." Zhao Jihan said softly, "Sure, get some sleep. I'm right here." I nodded and laid down. "First, I'll enter the space to check the box." "What is this?" "This is the space reward for hugging Zhao Jihan. It's Zhuanling iron, a treasure for forging artifacts." Mei Qingqin, "That sword needs this to be fully repaired. With this, he definitely won't do anything to you." I understood after the explanation. The Zhuanling iron really came at the right time. But don't take it out all at once, host. It will cause a stir. I know what I'm doing. I chatted with the space system for a while before falling asleep. I woke up in the late afternoon feeling refreshed. My wood power recovered halfway. I opened the door. Zhao Jihan quietly stood outside. "Have you been here the whole time?" "Yeah, is the Seventh Master feeling better?" "Much better." I glanced at the courtyard. Mei Qingqin still looked very guarded, standing in the middle of the yard, right at this moment. When Nangxi and Hualing stepped into the yard together, their eyes instantly filled with anger. "What are you doing here?"